Hey everybody, welcome back to the Making It Music podcast. I am Heather, your host as always. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I know we're not up on a Monday, but you know what? It was a bank holiday Monday this week and I wanted to put my feet up and it was a little bit sunny and there's a close park to me, so I decided to sit in the park and it was lovely. And of course my guest did the same thing, so I'm sure she did not mind. Welcome back to the Making Music podcast. Hope you had a fantastic week. Hope it was okay with the whole COVID thing. We're still making our way through it, especially bad news this week with everything that's going on in America. But you know, my biggest thing, always be kind and stick close to each other and help each other out, especially during this time with everything that is going on. Now, this time, I think for everyone has got everyone feeling very nostalgic. You know, looking back at old photos and stuff like that. And I've been doing that myself. And one photo that I always go back to and stuff like that is an old band I used to be into and we used to play together. And one band that I used to always play alongside was this kick-ass band called Submotion, right? And I love them. And I remember exclaiming this, and I was only reminded by a friend of mine the other day that I said this. I got on stage once and basically, like, for the first 3 minutes of my set, fangirled about the lead singer of Submotion because you had just played before us. And I'm very, very, very excited to announce that Submotion evolved and became this unreal band, Sick Love. And I'm thrilled that I am interviewing my girl crush fangirl right here. I don't even know which side it's going to be on, so it could be either. Rebecca Geary, hello. Welcome.
Hey,
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It's so good to be chatting to you all the time.
So Sick Love, for those who don't know, is like a balls to the wall rock and roll kind of like band. Think modern Blondie. Think the Pixies and stuff like that. Like just really just good hard hitting stuff. It's class. You guys kind of burst onto the scene back in 2018 with your new thing, Sick Love, and in the last 2 years you've released already like 7 tracks, 7 singles, 3 of which that are on the new EP, Baby It's You. Class EP, so good, and we're going to dive all into that later. But yes, hello, how are you getting on? How's your time been during all this? How was your bank holiday weekend, Rebecca?
Bank holiday was just bliss.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, like, if it's ever a time to be on lockdown, like this weekend was the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was real good. Other than that, like, yeah, it's been kind of weird. Like, it's obviously for everybody.
Yeah.
It's been super weird. Being away from my band members and just everybody, but we're getting on with it. We're just keeping going. It's fine.
You said you have a pretty good setup there. You got your piano, you got your mic going.
Yes. I
Has
have like the most basic setup whatsoever. I feel like I've been so spoiled for the last few years, like having one of our band members be so good at recording and just record everything for us. And I'm like, I don't have to worry about that stuff. And I'm like, oh god, okay. It's just me now. I'm figuring it out as I go along. Not that I haven't recorded stuff before, but I just choose not to.
yeah, it's like if there's someone who could do it better, I'll let them do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm like,
totally get
so
that.
yeah, it's been an adjustment for sure, but
Mm.
we're all figuring it out. Like,
Yeah.
our drummer Sean got garage band for the first time ever during the lockdown, so it's it's been a learning process for all of us.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh, GarageBand. I remember GarageBand with 15-year-old me and my parents' office just being boom, cats, booms, cats. And then
I'm still on garage band, like I'm not
love
ashamed.
it.
Like,
Love
this
it.
is
It's
what
so
we're working with.
easy to use.
It's what we're working with.
Genuinely, I went from GarageBand to Logic and now I'm an Ableton person, but I prefer GarageBand to Logic because I feel like Logic is just they try to fancy up GarageBand, and
Yeah,
you're
it's just
like,
like it's
nah,
pretty.
just give me the basics. If I wanted the basics, just give me GarageBand and I'm happy with that. And it's only when I
Exactly.
want to make my voice sound like some outer alien robot that I go to Ableton.
Love it.
Love it. But sure, you know me and you know me and my games, and I like playing my games. Okay. And I've done this for you already. So I've come up with a bunch of brand new this or that's for you.
Okay, okay, cool.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So first one I have, all right, sorry, frog in my throat, not the corona. I
No
always feel like
COVID.
I
No
have to
COVID here.
I have to say it every time I cough now. It's I swear I just have something stuck in my throat. First thing I have for you. 2 Irish bands that rock. Otherkin versus girl band.
Okay, Otherkin.
Otherkin.
I like. I'd say like Otherkin is the first band that I remember, like Irish band that I remember absolutely adoring, like absolutely going crazy for. Like the first time I ever saw them was upstairs in Whelan's, and I just kind of went because like the lads were like, "We're going to this gig, blah, 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 this band." I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I was hooked. I'm like, and I'm so upset that they're gone now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that like there's they have bits coming back, I think, which is
I
nice.
think so. And like you never know during this time.
Like
So
I'm really hopeful because that's yeah, that sums up like my early 20s for
mm.
sure.
Oh, there's so many like amazing Irish bands that just didn't like because it's hard being in our own little island and stuff like that. It's like it's if you don't get past that point, it's hard to keep yourself going. I was
It is.
Walking on Cars,
Oh
like
yeah.
such a good
I know.
band, and they're gone as well now, and you're like, what up? But I
I
miss you.
know. But definitely like that sums up like a very specific
Part of
couple
your
of years
life.
in my life that like I will treasure forever.
One of my favorite things is it's like when you see Irish bands wearing the merch of other Irish bands. So like in like Joe Lancome,
Yeah.
they just did their Tiny Desk sessions and it went up like only like 2 weeks ago. And like the drummer or like is the guitarist, Ian anyway, is wearing a kneecap t-shirt. Are the two rappers from up north, like
Oh
the two
yeah,
Irish
yeah.
rappers. And then I remember seeing in one of your photos, in one of your promo photos, it's like you sitting and then someone has their back turned to the camera and it's just an Otherkin t-shirt.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, that's what you want to see.
It is, it is.
Yeah, it's like you're looking at our band, but check out this other one.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, two ladies that rock. You ready?
Okay.
Joni Mitchell versus Janis Joplin.
Oh damn. Okay. Just like knee jerk reaction, I'm gonna say Janis Joplin.
Yeah,
Like she's just like
nice.
she's just so iconic. Like it's just that voice, that raspy voice. It's just like just a specific time as
Mm-hmm.
well. It's like oh, just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. I love listening back to some of Janis Joplin stuff, especially as you get older and you realize all the stuff she's talking about. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, wow, this is really, really depressing stuff, but it's so good.
But give it all to me. Give me more.
Literally. It just shows what sort of place we're in at the moment. Just like, give me all the depressing crap. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, last one I have for you. Two bands of the world that rock. Nirvana versus Radiohead.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Again, knee jerk reaction. Even though I love both, I'm gonna say Nirvana.
Nice.
I think yeah, just I mean like I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan as well, but Nirvana just like it's that just gorgeous like grungy
Mm,
rawness that like I think is just it just never gets old.
yeah.
And I'm like and I know maybe they don't want to be compared to this, but I'd say they do. Like I'm such a big fan club fan as well. And it's
They kind
like
of tie into each other.
yeah, it's like the new Nirvana, like reborn, is in fan club. I really feel that Stephen King has a bit of that inside him.
Yeah, definitely. That actually makes a lot of sense thinking about it now, thinking about the two
Mhm.
sounds. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, brilliant. I didn't give you Red Hot Chili Peppers this time because found out that so actually that was a story that we were talking about before. So fun fact, everybody, Rebecca and I have already done an interview. But another fun fact that I think everyone knows at this point is Heather's a bit of a twat, and um, there was an issue with my mic the whole way through. Didn't realize it was happening, so lost it. But a really cool story. Basically, when we did this before, I gave the lovely Rebecca a this or that of the Foo Fighters versus the Red Hot Chili Peppers because I believe that your name was because you love the Red Hot Chili Peppers because it's a sick love song. So yeah, but no, it's a fine thing to do just because you like the name of the song. But that is where the name comes from. Is that Red
It
Hot
is.
Chili Pepper song?
Yeah, it was literally like trying to find a name, trying to think of something like that's cool and just snappy and that is quick. And I don't know, I was trying to think of something that just was like boom, boom, or like
Yeah.
a one word or something.
Mm,
And just flicking through Spotify playlists, and that song came up, Sick
that was it.
Love by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was like, that's kind of cool. That's a fun song. And I'm not even sure if I listened to the song, to be honest.
It is a good song. Although, like, to be so I had a dream about you guys last night, and I had a dream that you changed your band name again. And I was like freaking out because I had like these 2 interviews from this woman from Sick Love. So I was like running around trying to find another band called Sick Love. But you changed your name to Dead Sandwich.
Dead Sandwich. That's kind of iconic.
It was a
How
very
have,
like punk rocky. I was like, they're going down the grunge route. If like
yeah.
that.
I mean, like, who knows? Like, knowing us, like, there could be a name change at any point in the next few years again. I'm hoping Sick Love like sticks for a while.
Yeah. And so Sick Love kind of came about because it was like you kind of fully understood your sound, you were getting the support, you were finally deserving and stuff like that. And it was kind of like, well, it was a thing of, okay, this is the time, let's change things up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying to you before, like Submotion was our name beforehand,
Mm.
and like that was going back to I think when the lads were 16 or something like that. So it was just like it was outdated anyway.
Yeah.
We may have never changed the name if like everything didn't start happening. But it was just kind of the right time. And when our management came on, he was kind of like our manager was kind of like showing our songs to different people and saying like, what do you think? What do you think of this band that I'm managing? And nearly everyone was like, love the music, but the name
It doesn't
doesn't
work.
match the band at all. It doesn't match the sound whatsoever. And we're like, yeah, you're right. So we're just like, yeah, let's just kind of rebrand. Like it was always the direction we wanted to go in the beginning anyway.
Mm.
But it was just like, okay, well, let's just do clean slate, brand new start with a brand new name, and it was just the perfect time to do it.
Mm.
So that's why,
And it
yeah.
does really work with you as a band as well. Like it's kind of like that fun rock, you know, that
Yeah,
chanty, like the chant along kind of all involved Sick Love. Like
yeah,
it works with your sound. I
yeah,
really, really like it. But you brought over a few songs from from your past catalog into this catalog now.
yeah,
Like Gun Gun in My Pocket.
yeah.
Such a
That,
class tune. So glad you brought that over. I've been listening to that
yeah.
like loads since our last talk. I was like, oh, this is actually, yeah, she's so right. What great idea to re-release this. So did not get the recognition it deserved.
I know, and it was just like we always knew. Like I think that like it was the last song that we released as Submotion,
Mm.
and I think it just it just didn't quite hit the way we wanted to. Maybe because we were already in that kind of transition phase.
Mm-hmm.
That this was definitely like our new sound, but we still kind of had our old sound lingering kind of behind us with like past releases and everything like that. So maybe it was like, okay, this isn't really gelling for like the in between kind of phase that we're in right now. So once it had its actual time to have its moment, it like really had its moment. So
Yeah.
I like, oh, I'm just so glad that like we took that chance again. We're just like, hey, let's just, I know it's the same song, but basically nobody heard it. So
Yeah.
let's just go again. And it was just so worth it.
But it really actually ties in, like when you listen to it from the idea of like it's from Submotion, it doesn't work with the sound of Submotion, but then when you hear it under the name of Sick Love, you're like, yeah, this is the sound, and it's like
Yeah.
straight away, this is our sound now. It's
Yeah. And I
really
think that's
cool.
why like that was all the more reason for us changing as well. It was like, you know what, like this isn't us anymore. Like it's a part of us, like it's
Mm-hmm.
part of our past and everything, but like all the stuff that we had started writing in that kind of transition period, we're like, this is so much more evolved than like anything we've done before. Like this is a different band basically.
Yeah.
It was a rebrand, but it was like a rebirth almost as well. Like it totally made sense in this new phase of where we're at. Like that,
Mm.
like this is where it belongs now.
Did you find that when you switched over and kind of became this new band that you could kind of let go of some of the things that you kind of felt like you had to do as Submotion, like some things that would have fitted you as Submotion, ways you
Yeah.
acted, the way you performed and stuff like that, where you're able to
Yeah.
kind of put those aside and just move on to like this new person?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were at a point back then where we kind of thought like we weren't as confident in maybe like our songwriting abilities or like exactly where our sound was at the time, that like if we wrote like one good song, we're like, okay, well, now we gotta write like 10 more of those songs because we can't possibly write anything better. Like it's just that like
Yeah.
when you're younger and kind of unsure phase. So I think like the difference that it made, like becoming this new band, was just like more confidence as well.
Mm.
Just like learning, like, okay, like we are so sure of what we're doing right now. We don't have to worry about whether we're gonna be able to write another good song or not.
Because we
And
know we
like,
are.
yeah, exactly. Like once you know, once it clicks and you're like, okay, like yeah, now I really realize what we're trying to do, what kind of music we're trying to make. Then yeah, it was a lot easier to just kind of like let the past go.
Yeah.
That was then. This is now.
That's awesome. And now you've come out with this like really sick EP. Like so good. What was
Thank
kind of
you.
your idea like when you were putting this EP together? You have an album, you're planning an album for
Yeah.
later, like is it later in the year and early
Hopefully
next
it's
year?
later in the year. Like, I mean, COVID, but
Yeah.
so the plan is later this year, but maybe it's like maybe it's early next year. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely still going full steam ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the EP, we kind of just said, we have all these songs that were kind of album contenders, and they were kind of, we kind of played them a few times before. We had played them like a bit on our tour and stuff. So we were like, okay, we know these songs are good. Let's keep them in the back pocket, kind of as these could
But you're
be on
gone.
the debut album. Very, yeah. So we were like, maybe these could be, maybe these could be part of the album.
Hmm.
But then we just realized that the four songs that made it onto the EP, we just kind of realized that, oh, these actually fit really well together, not intentionally. They just happen to all follow under the same theme of like love and lust and passion and relationships and
Mm.
everything. And it totally wasn't intentional. Like they just happened to be kind of written maybe in the same like 6 month period or something like that. And we just said, yeah, like why not just put out something before then? Because, you know, the album could be another
Mm-hmm.
year away. We don't know. Why not just put them out there, make it like a little cool collection of all these songs that we've been working so hard on?
Yeah, and it is. It's like I love it, and they run really, really well together. And I was really surprised when I heard there wasn't, because from a lot of the people I interview, the whole idea of a concept album has become very common,
Yeah,
and now like people always kind of approach a body of work as like one big like story running through it, and to think that these four songs have a story running through them, but that wasn't intentionally there, is really, really cool.
yeah. I mean, it must have been just kind of in the back of my mind the whole time, and
Yeah.
like subconsciously, like obviously, that was a lot of what I was writing about, and a lot of what I was thinking about, I guess, at the time. So, yeah, it was just kind of a happy accident. But I think, like, yeah, I think that the fact that it is such a concept worked out really cool. But I don't
Mm.
think that's going to be the way for the debut album, though. I think
Yeah.
it's more of a I almost think of like the debut as like almost like a greatest hits of your.
Yeah, like why not? Like all thriller, no filler. Just
Yeah,
like, yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
That's kind of where it's going at the moment.
That sounds good to me. It just sounds like an album of bops then.
Yeah,
So when it comes to the whole like writing process of it, because I was looking actually no, going back before the writing, I was noticing that you had a thing up on your Instagram with all your credits for who did what, and the
yeah,
majority of your stuff was produced by yourselves,
yeah.
which is
So
really cool.
that was kind of unintentional as well. Like that we were just kind of demoing in a rehearsal studio and kind of working on the songs and everything.
Mm.
And we kind of said to ourselves, like, let's see how good we can get these before we go to our producer, because like we do work with an amazing producer, James Dark, and a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we worked with him on Good in Your Pocket and Soccer Mom. And actually on one of the songs, Bad Girl, was produced by him as well, or co-produced with us. So we are kind of like, like let's see how far we can get these on our own and see what kind of a level we can get to. And they just happened to work out really
Yeah.
good. So
Really good. Like I like the mix on I'm So Fucked Without You is so good. Like the automation on it is class. It just pushes and pulls in those perfect
mhm,
moments. It's really, really cool. And like that one thing like in your bio all the time is you are a DIY band,
yeah.
and
I
you
mean, I
kind of
think
had
that
the
was,
philosophy going through.
yeah, I think again, that was kind of just out of necessity almost for a
Mm-hmm.
while. Because I mean, like when you're just starting out and you're not making all the money of like a big band or whatever, you're just kind of figuring it out on your own. You might not be able to go to the studio all the time. And we just kind of like, yeah, I mean, like, I really trust people that are better than me at things. And like, I really trust like like that, like producers that have been in the game for a long time, and working with people that know what they're doing. But sometimes you don't always have that luxury, especially like when you're younger, when you're a small band, you don't always have the luxury of being able to pay for everything. So we did kind of learn how to do a lot of DIY stuff ourselves along the way.
And it's paid off. It has paid off.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
good for like just knowing a lot of different aspects of the industry, and just like being able to speak on different things and be confident as well. Like, because even now, where we do have more of a luxury, like to go to studios and like work with photographers that we want to work with and videographers and stuff like that,
you
at
know what
least
you
you
want
kind
when
of
you get there.
exactly, yeah, like you have a bit of a knowledge in your head, and more of a clear picture when you
Mm.
know what you're talking about as well.
That's so important. I was like, a big thing for any musician is, even if it's not something that like adheres to you, know how to do it. Like a singer should be able to set up a PA system.
Exactly.
Like a guitarist should know about photography. Like, you need to just having a basic knowledge of everything that you're going to need is so important, because it's very easy for someone to come along and just swindle all your money out of you, because there
Yeah,
are some people out there who will do it and be like, oh, I don't think we got the photos great, I don't think the lighting's great, so maybe we should do it another day, and this is going to cost that much extra. And it's like, if you knew,
exactly.
you could have worked it yourself.
Exactly,
Thankfully
yeah.
enough, a lot of the people who work in the Irish music scene are pretty sound.
Oh yeah, like anyone that we've ever worked with has been
Yeah, it's been
amazing.
lovely.
Yeah, but it's just, yeah, it's also just being able to know what you want. Like
Hmm.
if you know the ins and outs of it, if you're confident what you're talking about, then you're going to get your vision across better. And I think like I definitely learned that from being in studios as well before, like because obviously like we've recorded with a lot of the same people, but then we've been in different studios,
Yeah.
different engineers, kind of one-offs and everything. And sometimes like at the beginning, like you don't really have that confidence in the studio. Like you're like, I've never done this before, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I don't know how to ask for what I want.
Yeah.
So I think that's so important as a singer as well, just to have confidence in a recording environment specifically, and be able to ask for what you want, be able to say no, like that wasn't the take, I need to do another take. Because
Hmm.
sometimes some people, as well meaning as they are, like will not cater to your needs as well as what
Yeah.
you need.
Especially when like you've been practicing something for a long time, and someone might hear someone and be like, oh no, that was brilliant, like you don't need to do it again, but like in your heart of hearts, you know you can do it again, and you can do
Absolutely.
it better, and you got to stick to
Yeah.
your guns on that and be
Yeah.
like, no, just one more try. I know I'm annoying you here, but my name's on this, not yours. Like, my name's
Exactly.
bigger on this. Like,
Yeah.
your name's on it too. Mine's name's just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
But coming back to like your writing, your lyrics are class, and I love your lyrics because they're just
Thank
very
you.
brutally honest and just straight up. And I have this is from I you know how obsessed I am with I'm So Fucked Without You. Such a good song.
Thank you.
um but it's not going to be down for all of my life, but I get a thrill from you seeing me cry, and then boom, and then it comes in and kicks in. It's class. So do you, when you're approaching your writing, I'm guessing you're like the lyricist in this, is like all the
Yeah.
lyrics are yours. Do you, when you like, would you kind of have a melodic idea first, or would you kind of approach it like your lyrics as like poetry and then go into it?
I'm definitely such a words person. Like
Hmm.
I've always just been like just obsessed with just words and sentences, and just like creating stories, I guess. Like I've always just been really into storytelling. So yeah, I mean, I can kind of like get a little bit of a melody in my head, but like I cannot figure it out if I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And that definitely like pissed off the lads a lot during rehearsals when we were trying to write something, because they're like, just like sing stuff, like just like sing something over like what I'm playing. I'm like, but I don't know what I'm gonna say. So like I need
Hmm.
a message. How am I supposed to just sing something if I'm just singing into thin air?
It's like the
Which is,
emotional context the lyrics influences the melody.
yeah, it's definitely a me problem. Like it's like even if I just have like a phrase, just any phrase, then I can go from there. But
Yeah.
it's like I need something like just to hold on to and be like, okay, this is where I'm going to go with this. Because I think like the words definitely influence the kind of emotion, or maybe not as much emotion, that you put into the melody. Because like if I'm just singing a song that's just fun and the lyrics are playful or whatever like that, that's going to determine what way I sing it as
Yeah,
well,
if
and
you're
what
gonna
kind of
stick
a
it up
song I'm
here.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really determines like what kind of a song it's going to be. If like once I know what the lyrics are, you know.
Mm-hmm. I know, I love that. And going back to just what you said there about when you're like when you're playing all in a room. So I'm guessing that it's not really kind of a, this is the melodic idea, can you put the lyric, or here's the instrumental, will you put the melody and lyrics on it? It's very much like a everything all at once. Let's all put our brains together.
It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of a back and forth all the time. Like it might start, it'll always kind of start with something. Like sometimes like it, like with I'm So Fucked, like I started like saying, okay, this is like, I had a couple of the lines or something in my head. I had like a little bit of the lines and melody in my head, and I was like, oh, just like play along to what I'm singing.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it could be the opposite way, like when the lads might starting a riff or something, and drums will add in, I'll come in, like it's always kind of a back and forth, like bouncing off each other. And I think
Mm.
that's been kind of the hardest part of not being together during lockdown, because we feed off each other so much.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm used to doing this. Like before I ever knew the guys, like I was being a singer songwriter in my bedroom all on my own.
Yeah.
But there's something so different about being with people and like feeding off each other's energy that I just didn't realize how much I missed it until it was taken away from me.
Mm-hmm. It is a thing because it's like a thing of like, oh, because if you're not sure about an idea and then you run past someone, they get really excited about it, then that
Hmm.
gives you the excitement to like give the momentum to maybe finish off that verse or finish off that chorus.
Exactly. Yeah.
uh,
And definitely with me as well, because like sometimes I'll be like, I really depend on the mood that I'm in when I'm songwriting as well, which again is a nightmare. Because like if I'm not feeling totally in the right headspace, if I'm feeling like my brain is all clogged up with other things, like I find it really hard to actually create something. So I'll be there in my head thinking of the design. I'm like, no, it's stupid. It's not good. It's stupid. It's stupid. And they're like, just sing it, and we'll tell you if it's stupid or not.
yeah.
So sometimes that's what I need. Sometimes I need like the guys to be like, no, this is good. Just
Mhm.
keep going.
Pull you
Stop
out your
getting
own
in your
head.
head. Yeah, exactly.
And you were saying there used to be a songwriter beforehand, so you were like piano, singer, songwriter, guitar,
Yeah.
and the lads had already kind of formed Submotion before you got involved. What was the thing that made you go from like singer, songwriter, just yourself, these emotional lyrics, to being like soccer mom screaming into a megaphone type of thing?
Yeah, well, it definitely was a process to get there.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, like, okay, I always did kind of, fancy myself as a bit of a front woman or something. Like before I ever was, like, I just was like, I could see that happening at some point. But no, I started songwriting like probably like from a really young age, like I'm gonna say like 13 or 12 or something like that. Once when I was learning piano, and like I figured out how to do chords, and I was like, oh, I can actually
Yeah.
write stuff myself. Like, not that it was any good, but that's where I started. I started just like in my bedroom writing songs like for a lot of my teen years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really influenced by people like Regina Spektor, Kate Nash, Lily Allen, all that kind of like, very,
Lyric heavy.
yeah, and
Yeah.
very piano based as well, and like very very singer songwriter. But yeah, so I was doing that for a good long time. I started gigging probably like 17, 18, and these kind of like underage type gigs that were going on in our area. Because we just happened to have like a really good like kind of youth program thing going on, like with music and the arts and
That's
everything, like
awesome.
in the Dunleary area. Yeah. So I happened to be doing some of those gigs, and the guys happened to be doing some of those gigs at the same time. And there was another singer. So yeah, they had another singer, Abby Malloy, who's absolutely an incredible singer. If you check her out on Instagram as well, she's an incredible choir singer. And she actually left the band for the choral scholars in UCD.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
great
like
gig to
so
get.
she is like top notch, top
Mm.
quality singer. So yeah, she left the band like for to pursue this, and I knew the guys already. Like we were hanging out and whatever like that, and they're like, "What are we gonna do? We don't have a singer anymore. Like the band's gonna break up." I'm like, God.
Hi. Hi, I sing. Hey, hi, I sing here too.
Literally. But it was never supposed to be permanent. I was only ever supposed to be a temporary singer.
What?
Yeah, like I had no intention, because I was doing my own thing. Um Actually, it happened when we were at one of the BIM live and lyrical gigs, and the lads came like to watch me sing and to support whatever like that. And I was just like, I'll just, I mean, I can do a few gigs for you, I guess. Like, it's not really my thing, but I'll give it a go. But
Yeah.
just you can find somebody else. Like, I'll do like the 3 gigs or whatever that you have planned, like for the next month, and then find somebody
Yeah.
else. I'm not doing this full time. And
Little
like
did you know.
6 years later, like here we.
What was it like that first gig of being like, so like it's so different of being like songwriter
Yeah,
to like front woman, especially from woman of a rock band. Like it's not like you're
yeah,
just like a front woman of a pop group or a folk group or something like that. Like this is a big jump.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was definitely like a fake it till you make it situation for a good while. Like, they were like, okay, just do you know Hayley Williams from Paramore? Do you know Paramore? I'm like, yeah, I know Paramore. Okay, like just watch videos of her, just watch videos of Hayley Williams, and you'll figure it out. And that's basically what I did. I just watched videos of Hayley Williams performing all the time, and I was like, okay, just channel that, just you know.
I'm glad you only like dated one of them and didn't decide to like sleep with a lot of them and wreck the band.
Fleetwood Mac, Paramore,
Oh
like
god.
channeling it all.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, I was literally like, I have no idea what I'm doing. All I know is that I know I can sing. I know I can sing these songs, but like putting on the performance, it was literally just figuring it out.
Mm.
Until then, it was figuring it out and kind of like, I suppose, copying other people to kind of, find my own way for a while.
Mm.
And then eventually I was like, no, I know what I'm doing now. Like this is my band now. Like this is us together. And especially when I started writing with the lads as well, because I kind of came in just singing their songs that they already had.
Mm.
So
So it didn't really
once we
feel like a party girls.
yeah, exactly. Like it was really just, kind of filling a space. But then when we actually started like being like, okay, I guess we're a band now. I guess we are like, I guess you are the singer now. And we started writing together. That's when I really felt like, okay, I can make this into something of my own.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. That's so nice. It's just like a complete like journey, especially like 5, 6 years later, and just seeing how good you've come, and just from knowing you, like what, knowing you like 4 years ago, and knowing the
Hmm.
sound that you were there, and knowing you as Submotion, just seeing this full body of work come out now, the EP, and it's just each song is a banger. Each one of them has that kind of coherent, this is who we are, but it's not the same. It's class. I really enjoyed it. I really, really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
the EP. Can't wait for the album. So well, actually, one thing that was written about the EP was that the Irish Times said that Sick Love are probably going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, following bands such as the Cranberries and U2 and like Aslan and following. Like that's a really amazing thing to be said.
Yeah, that's a big statement, and it's like it's almost kind of intimidating sometimes. But I'm like, okay, gotta live up to Dolores O'Riordan. That's great, good to know.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it's an amazing compliment. Like Jesus, I mean, like even going back to that, like we never really, like if we had known like 4 or 5 years ago, like where we would be now, like I don't think we would even believe it. So
Mm-hmm.
it really is. I mean, like it's surprising, but it's also like, okay, yeah, we've worked for this. Like we've put so much into this, that yeah, you kind of do expect to get it back at this point. That you're like, yeah, like we know what we're worth. We know that what we've done. We know that we're confident in what we're doing. So to get those kind of compliments back, it really is like it really is rewarding to hear that kind of thing.
Yeah. As you actually bringing up Dolores O'Riordan, how has it been being kind of a female front woman, like, and being kind of a lady in the industry? So just from different people I've had on, there's kind of a stigmatism, especially when it comes to bands, and when you're in a band that's involved that has a lot more males and females. When the promoter or when the sound engineer or something walks up, they'll come up to the female and be like, "All right, where's the boss man?" And
Hmm.
you're like, I am, or like we all are, or
Yeah.
like you can actually ask your question to me. So going from like being a songwriter, being kind of a bit of a safe zone where there's a lot of kind of individual people performing, and there's a lot of like just women performing by themselves, to kind of a rock industry where it is predominantly male. How was that
Mhm.
for you, kind of learning to kind of be like, okay, I gotta stand up for myself and be my own?
Yeah, it was really hard at the start. Really, really hard at the start. The weird thing that kind of, I mean, like it's good for me, but it's also not good for other people is that like with kind of the more recognition that we've gotten and the better gigs that we're getting when we arrive at the venue, like they know who's on the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, I've gotten more respect in kind of more recent years because like that, if you're doing gigs at a big promoter, like they know who they're booking, like they know who the
Mm-hmm.
band is, they know everyone's name before they come in, they know who I am, just from a professional point of view. So it's nice, but then I'm like, okay, but why does it take me getting to this point to just get a basic level of respect,
Yeah.
and
Why is
that
everyone
makes
else
me,
getting the respect at the beginning and I have to,
yeah,
why do I have to
exactly.
earn it and everyone else doesn't?
Yeah, and like I'm like it's nice, it's really flattering that like people do care about my opinion and everything now, and people do care to make sure that I'm okay and that like I have everything that I need and whatever like that. Like it's really nice now, but it really does make me think about when we started out and when I'm like 20 years old or something like that, really only having like my first ever experience of like the big bad music industry world,
Mm.
and really having to like stand up for yourself and push yourself to the front because people will railroad you, and I've been railroaded like for years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like I was definitely much more of a, I suppose, like a shy, meek kind of personality before, not just from not having the experience of being
Yeah.
in those scenarios, of being in that kind of environment. So I definitely, again, like had to fake it till you make it and just push myself and assert my dominance in some way and make people
Mm.
know like, hey, I'm Rebecca Geary. This is my band. This is what we need to do. Blah blah
Mm.
blah. But it was definitely hard for a long time. So yeah, I really wish that like it's good. It's all good for me now, but I really wish that it would be good
Straight
for,
away.
yeah, and it makes me think of any kind of any female musician that's coming up, like
Mm.
that's starting out, like it's tough, like it's really really tough, and I feel like it's a good learning lesson. It's good to learn, to stand up for yourself and to be assertive and everything like that. But it is getting better, but it is hard. It's hard when you're at that low level, for
I think
sure.
the big thing for for singers across the board, not male and female, but especially for female, is it's kind of say if there was a big group, this is just from my own experience, that I would be on the stage and I'd be the singer, so I wouldn't have anything set up. I'd have my mic and I'd just be there, but I'd always help the lads carry their gear in, and they'd set up and I would know exactly what they all wanted, so I'd be able to go up to sound engineer and be like, this is what they want. But there'd be so many times where the sound engineer would just breeze past me and then go straight to some, and like it's a thing that it's sometimes that it's guessed that the women won't know. Well, it's
Mm,
guessed that it's automatically guessed that the man will know about the sound and the woman won't. And it's when a guy doesn't know, it's embarrassing for him that like he's asked a question, he's like, ugh. But it's even worse for a woman that they don't even get that opportunity to be embarrassed. We don't even
yeah,
get the opportunity to show ourselves up, because it's just like straight away, you won't know, next person.
yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah. Actually, I had a quite particularly bad experience at a festival like a good few years ago. Obviously, when we were still Submotion, but I won't name the festival or anything like that. But I was at a pretty well known festival, and there we were there in the kind of wings of the stage waiting to go on. There was another band on already. We were there just kind of like warming up, getting ourselves together, whatever. Just kind of standing in the
yeah.
side of the stage. And I'm just sitting there. I'm kind of just like kind of just having a little bit of a relax, kind of trying to, get myself into the zone or whatever. I'm just like sitting there, just getting myself organized, whatever. And the stage manager comes up to me and was like, "Hey, how did you get in here?" I was like, excuse me. He's like, yeah, like how did you get in here? You're not supposed to be here. And I'm literally like, I'm performing. I'm on next. And I think he wanted to crawl into a hole like straight away, which I'm glad. But I was literally
Hmm.
like, I'm not a groupie.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, look at the poster. You're the stage manager. Like, what the hell? So that was probably the worst experience that I've had. Like actually somebody thinking that I'm sneaking in to like get a glimpse of the bands or something like that. It's like, no. take a look at your lineup and come back to me.
Oh God, that is so irritating. Like, what for girls who are coming up now and for women who are starting bands now, what advice would you have for them going forward of how to conduct themselves at the beginning and how to kind of, from their first gig, how to just make sure that they're getting the respect that they deserve?
I would literally say, literally like what I've said like a million times now, is fake it till you make it. Like, even if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like, oh my God, they're gonna think that I don't know what I'm doing, just act like you know what you're doing. Because nobody knows what they're doing at the start. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you've just started gigging for the first time, like you're so new to the environment. Just even, just being friendly, and you can be assertive and friendly in the same time at the same time. So, introducing yourself to the sound guy, introducing yourself to the promoter, anybody that's there kind of, looking after the staging or anything like that. Just make sure they know your name, and you're like, hey, thank you for having us on. Like, at the same time, like, they're doing you a favor as well. Like, they're
Mm-hmm.
giving you this gig. So, you have to be respectful as well. But just like, being friendly, and just making yourself known that, like, yes, I am the artist here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on. Let me know what I can do. Just kind of making yourself known and being as confident as you can is definitely the advice I would give.
I love that. Well, the thing sometimes, like, the whole fake it till you make it thing always reminds me of do the movie The King and I. Do you
Yeah,
know, it's like I whistle a happy tune, and it's like the thing of like, if you keep on like whistling this happy tune, it actually tricks you into thinking you are fine, you are happy.
yeah,
And sometimes when
exactly.
you put on this confidence and when you walk in the room, you're like, yeah. And even though
Yeah,
like you could be dying on the inside, within 5 minutes you've kind of almost taken on, like, wait, no, I am confident, I'm not acting anymore, this is
yeah,
me, and it's
exactly.
great. And I've seen that happen with you getting bigger and bigger and more comfortable on the stage. And I see it with the lads as well. Like, your drummer always goes hell for 90 on the stage, but
Yeah,
your two guitarists are coming more and more out of themselves now, which is class to see as
yeah.
well. And it's just, oh, it's so good. So last question I have for you. All right. What are the plans for Sick Love in the future?
Well, as I said, the album is very much underway at the moment. So, yeah, we've just been working really hard behind the scenes, especially during this downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of trying to get everything in order, get it as good as it can be, and, really like working on songs that we love. So that's what we're really, really strongly working on. Obviously, tours is not really happening right now.
Reschedule, maybe.
Reschedule, like, we will be the first ones to be like, we're playing, like, let's
Mm-hmm.
come, once we know that we can play. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But definitely, like, more music is coming, and just enjoy the music that we've just put out there now.
Yeah, go online, save, download, like whatever it is that you got to do nowadays to make people's money in music. Do all of it.
Exactly.
All of the above. Okay, and last one for you. And I know you hated me the last time we did this, but you can use the same albums. I don't mind. Your
I
Desert
probably
Island
will.
discs, go for it. Your Desert Island discs for your COVID alone on your little island. What would it be? Your little island is just like that little kind of tarmac island that's just off like the West Dunleary Pier, by the
Yeah,
way. Like, it's not that far away.
that's it. So five. There's
Yeah.
five. Okay. So Pet Sounds from the Beach Boys, absolute classic. Um, Days Are Gone from Haim.
Mm-hmm.
Going to say Far by Regina Spektor. That's going back to my roots there. Um, Blondie Parallel Lines. And then the fifth one, I think I said Ariana Grande. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Ariana
Sweetener.
Grande, Sweetener. So that,
Nice.
and yeah, I mean, like, there's probably another 50 that I could name on that, but I think they like kind of encompass like every part of like my
You.
musical taste. Yeah, like, it's
Yeah.
everything that's kind of led up to what I am now, I suppose.
Beach Boys to Ariana Grande, quite
Yeah,
literally. Yeah.
it's a spectrum,
Mm.
okay?
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming on again. You were wonderful as always. Everyone, please go check out Sick Love. They are such an epic band, such a hardworking group of lads and lassie. So nice as well, just so lovely. And I can't wait for the album. Baby It's You, the EP is brilliant, and I'm sure the album is going to be even better. All
Thank you
thriller,
so
no
much.
fillers. Thank you so much yourself. Everybody, make sure you follow Sick Love on everything. Follow Making It in Music on everything, because every week we have on a brand new Irish musician talking all about their career, what the music they've been out recently, taking a deep dive into things. So make sure, and we have about 20 other episodes that you can listen to during this COVID time. So catch up. A big shout out to Craig, our sponsor, the Dublin School Music. Love you lots, Craig, as always. And we'll see you next week. Bye, Rebecca.
Bye.